If you are right now in a pre-engagement type of situation with your girlfriend or boyfriend, or you're possibly engaged and the topic of children comes up, it's very important to talk about it. Talk about, whether you want children. How do you fundamentally feel about disciplining children? Also, issues like values, like religion, these are deal breakers. The more different you are in these areas, I really caution you to consider whether this marriage will work, because ideally, whatever you disagree on with raising children or having children, it is not going to go away. And this is true if one of the partners wants kids and one doesn't, or if you're in a situation where you both want kids, but one of you is very liberal, the other is very conservative in disciplining them and open to the ideas of what that child is going to be like what's the counsel coming from the parents. Also, if you're very different with religion, this is a deal breaker, because one person is going to want to follow the faith, go to church, get involved in the faith community. And if the other one is not a believer, doesn't really care, doesn't have any intention of getting involved in that area, it's almost unkind. Just totally not thinking ahead to believe that that somehow is going to work out once you get married, because it's not. Two people who are going to get married are partners. They're a team, but the team has to be focused and it has to have a vision forward. So core values are non-negotiables. Things like I just talked to you about: gender roles, discipline, religion, emotional needs. These types of things do not change. And it won't just disappear by magic. I get a lot of couples in who said, my partner didn't want kids, but I thought after we got married, they would soften up to the idea. That doesn't happen. And what does happen is, if you try to manipulate your partner into having a kid, you have a kid, don't expect them to help with it. And not only that, they could be very resentful, almost feel like their needs, their values had been violated, because caring for a little human is taxing. It's exhausting. And that's a load that should be carried by both people. Not only that, it's not fair to the child. Like, if you're born into two people's lives, a marriage, and only one parent wants you, think of the consequences for that little one. Your future kids will feel the tension, especially if the two of you disagree about what you value, what means a lot to you, because they're going to pick up on your sadness, your resentment, your feeling that your other partner is totally detached from what your needs are. So make sure up front you don't expose an innocent child to this type of attention, this type of anxiety, of loneliness and depression. And what's not a deal breaker, so I do want to go through this side too, because I have a lot of clients that will tell me later, well, the reason we got divorced is because of this. And I'm like, okay, that's something you could have worked through. But it tells me that their communication, their ability to talk about how they felt about it, was somehow lacking. And that's why they used these non-deal breakers as deal breakers. So the difference of a minor deal breaker is something like screen time limits, bedtime routines. And if you're both honest, discussion and compromising, then you're going to be able to work those out. Also, if both partners share values like love, respect, and empathy, then they should be able to navigate those minor differences, because no two parents are alike, and limiting screen time, bedtime, meal times, that's going to change. And children should see flexibility and change in that with their parents as they grow up. So ask yourself before moving forward so that you don't get into trouble, you don't have expectations for your partner only to be disappointed later. Do they listen when you bring up parenting concerns? Just, you're aware of that. When you bring them up to your partner, are they listening to you? Are they rigid or are they open to change? And you can detect that from a person way before you're engaged to them. Could you find a middle ground with raising children or having children that you both agreed to? The middle ground is a safe place because it allows your partner openness to change your mind. It's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's going into the engagement area where you understand it's a middle ground, like you don't really have strong feelings either way. And you say to your partner, I want space to be able to grow here or change my mind. Would this person be good with raising a child with me or without me? Ask yourself that. So, if you want kids and your partner doesn't, and your partner tells you, I don't want them, but if you have them, I will do what I can to support it, but I'll never probably be that parent that is totally engaged. When you're honest like that and your partner hears it, then they have to do a reflection. Is this a person I really want to raise a child with? Is this someone who will who will be a good dad or a good mom to my kid? And that's going to be on the two of you to talk about this, because if you're in love and all the other boxes are checked that you agree on, but this one about having children is not, then it's still a potential deal breaker if your partner won't budge with it. If one person wants one and one doesn't, or one person is open to gender role changes and the other isn't, those issues could potentially cause a rift and a later breakup of the marriage. I think so much of this is going to go back to you being honest, your partner being totally honest and transparent. And rather than the two of you trying to convert each other, the two of you are respectful, open, honest, and loving, whether you decide to stay together or split. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.